Hello guys, my name is Vicious and I'm your host on the Coverage 101 podcast. And if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button because it's free. You got nothing to lose. And you really want to hear what I'm going to be talking about today. So we're going to be talking about Ted Cruz. So Ted Cruz is an American comedian, actor, and TV personality. And a lot of people know him from Everybody Hates Chris and White Chicks. So Ted Cruz has had a prominent career over the past few decades and has been doing well for himself. However, things were not really well enough for him as far as the public is concerned, as he was battling porn addiction. So Ted Cruz says his porn addiction affected his relationship with his wife and kids. He didn't want anyone to get in the way of him watching porn peacefully. And you all know what happens to people or what people do whenever they're watching porn. So according to Hollywood Unlocked, Ted Cruz used to intentionally start an argument with his wife, Rebecca King, so she wouldn't ask a lot of questions, and he would also be angry at his kids for being in the way of him watching porn peacefully. So Ted Cruz also elaborated that he got exposed to porn at the age of 8 years, and he escaped to porn as he witnessed abuse on a daily basis. So his father was always abusing his mother, and watching porn made him forget about everything that he was going through. He kept on watching porn throughout his old adult life, and he would lock himself in hotel rooms and get busy with porn. And he kept on realizing that he needs help with porn addiction until he came clean and got professional help. So he encourages people out there to stop watching porn, because porn is a very bad thing. I actually, because I've also watched porn a couple of times, and it's just like something that you cannot stop watching. So because it's actually something that a lot of people are watching, However, it's not a good thing to watch because it makes you do things you were not even intending to do. So it's just like drug abuse. So it's a similar thing compared to drug abuse. So if you're listening to this and you're a porn addict, then I encourage you to stop watching porn if it makes you miserable. But if it makes you sane, then the choice is yours. But I'm not saying you should keep on watching porn. Yeah, so Ted Cruz encourages people out there to stop watching porn because he's talking from experience. Just imagine, from the age of 8 years, just picture a kid in a room watching porn. Only 8 years old. So how would you react if you see a kid locked in a room watching porn at the age of 8 years? Seeing your kid or your nephew watching porn, seeing a kid watching porn, it's just like crazy. It's just like unbelievable. It's like having a 10-year-old smoke cigarettes, just like J. Cole mentioned that he was smoking cigarettes while he was like 10 years or 11 years old. That's crazy, So moving on to the second story that you're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about South Africa's very own Emtee. So Emtee is a 30-year-old South African rapper from Emtee, and Emtee, the roll-up hit maker, suspect that he has a serious mental condition or health condition that makes him stutters whenever he speaks, and he believes that this is caused by stress and the life circumstances he has faced in his career, which may be true because he's fame around 2015 or 2016, and he made millions with bookings, streams, endorsement deals, but his recording label wasn't fair to him as he was paid only less than 10k on a monthly basis. Each and every weekend he was booked, even on weekdays. Just imagine that. And he also used to go outside the country, and I'm pretty sure he used to make a couple of millions on a monthly basis because he was also getting some international gigs. So this pays you a lot. But regardless of everything that he was doing and every endorsement deal he was getting, he was paid around 10k on a monthly basis, Yeah, and that's crazy. So after working with his former record label for several years, he then decided to leave the label. And a lot of assets that he thought were his, like watches, houses, cars, and even sneakers were confiscated. So whatever he had at that time, the label told him, nah, you don't own any of it. And it's crazy. Just imagine you're a rapper, being around other rappers and then only to find out you don't own any car, any sneakers, any watches. You can't flex anymore because rappers are all about flexing, flexing to each other or flexing to the world. And then Emtee couldn't do that anymore because, crazy. He was going through a rough time, Eventually, he went free, but his problems didn't stop there. He also trended for a few times when he was on drugs and also took a video of his penis. And while people were still trying to take in that he was on drugs and doing bizarre things on the internet, he was also beefing with other artists in the industry, and to name a few, DJ Theater, Aries, Duncan, Big Zulu, and some we don't know. And recently he was also exposed for beating his wife while she was pregnant. And all this parade of drama just shows that he's a different artist compared to other artists. The way he maneuvers in the game just like, different. He don't maneuver carefully and professionally, because it's scandals after scandals, I'm not trying to slam his name or anything like that, because I'm just looking at Nasty or Aries. So all this parade of drama just shows that he's a different artist compared to other artists. So the way he maneuvers is different compared to other artists. And that's not a good thing, because it's supposed to be professional, So a lot of people from social media believe that Emtee is always high. The way he speaks, I'm sure you guys have seen it on videos, because yes, he's actually a person who speaks, in a soft way. He's kind of soft, the way he talks is just like slow, but there's also a little bit of drug use in that, If you take a look at Lil Wayne, for example, he couldn't go a day without drinking lean, and he had seizures, So he had seizures because he was abusing drugs, and it's just like crazy, So it just like shows you that lean is actually bad for a person's health, It actually makes a lot of sense for Emtee as well. I just believe that Emtee has to get some professional help, because we as fans do care about him, so he has to stay around for some time, because he's a legend, And moving on to another story that you're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about Ice Spice. So Ice Spice received the backlash for having a minor twerk on a new music video titled Deli. So the minor they're referring to is Ayaa Tanjali, a 16-year-old famous TikTok star. I actually went to check on her content. She makes dope content, and I can confidently say that the girl has been twerking, she's been twerking. It's not like Ice Spice taught her, so I guess the only mistake she made was to, let her twerk on a music video, which is quite wrong, for the public as well, because there were a bunch of other girls twerking on the music video as well, so it's just like crazy, She stood out, because and also a lot of people do know that she's young, she's a 16-year-old. So she's used to this wild lifestyle. However, I cannot deny it. It's absolutely wrong and heartbreaking seeing a young girl around the age of 14, 15 or 16 wearing mini skirts, showing their ass on public like that, It's just crazy. But I really believe that parents are the ones who are responsible for taking care of the young girls, because it's crazy out there. The world is crazy. And it's crazy what you see on the internet on a daily basis. So I actually believe it's a parent's responsibility to make sure that the young girl is in check, So that's all for today's episode. I do appreciate you for watching until the end. And if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button, because it's free. You got nothing to lose. My name is Vicious. This is the Coverage 101 podcast. Peace out.